Now, moving on to our conversation this morning, concerns have trailed many Nigerians over the arrest of the once celebrated super cop, Abba Kyari. This is following his arrest alongside 4 others after his involvement in a 25 kilograms cocaine deal. The National Drug Law Enforcement Agency revealed how the suspended police officer DCP Abba Kyari offered undercover NDLEA officers the sum of $61,400. The NDLEA, in a statement by its spokesperson, Femi Babafemi, gave the names of the suspects as DCP Abba Kyari, ACP Sunday J. Ubua, ASP Bawa James, Inspector Simon Agirba, and Inspector John Nuhu, who were driven into the national headquarters of NDLEA in Abuja. Well, joining me in the studio to analyze ongoing issues on Abba Kyari's arrest is public affairs analyst Dotun Ojon. Dotun, good morning.
Good morning, Veronica.
Right, thank you for joining us. And via Zoom, we have in-house analyst Obani Akinwale joining us. Good morning, Ni. Thank you for joining us. Right. All right. Let me come to you, Dotun, while we work on Ni's audio there. Many thought that. Right, Ni, can you hear me? Good morning. Thank you for joining us.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you.
Oh, great. I can hear you too as well.
All right. Good morning. Then let me begin with you. Many thought that we had the worst, perhaps, with the ongoing case with the super cop Abba Kyari, only for the NDLEA to come up with this reports recently with regards to him being a part of drug trafficking. Recently, the video we saw. And I'm wondering what impressions you make of this development, because a lot of Nigerians say they did not see this coming.
Good morning once again. It's unfortunate that I wouldn't know whether you help me with this translation. There is one translation in Yoruba. My brother Akwashalu will be very good in this. The translation says, "Ọdẹ tó ń dẹ ihò kété, kó rántí pé Ọlọ́run dẹ ihò dí òun." Let me try and translate it for you a bit. I'm not an English whatever. It says that the hunter that is trying to dig into the hole of the rodent should also remember that there is Almighty God that's also digging through his anus. And that's exactly what we have seen play out lately with our security apparatus in this country. Am I that surprised that we have this level of corruption or the level of achievement achieved by the IRT boss? Absolutely no. It's the system we have. And that's one of the things that few of us are voted for. Let us try as much as possible to build institutions, not individuals. There is no doubt about it that DCP Abba Kyari is a super cop, is a wonderful cop, but you look at the gravity of allegations, from being a tailor to being arrested of people that want to be tormented, to again being the person that is involved in $64,100 for 5 kg of cocaine. You want to ask yourself that will Abba Kyari will have done this alone, which I doubt. Will there be people in high places involved in these matters, which we also know? Where is cocaine coming from? Who is it going to? Who are the financiers of this cartel from Ethiopia to Brazil to Nigeria? So it is not too surprising because of the system we find ourselves. And that was why we all need to join us together to ensure that we try as much as possible to flush out bad eggs, no matter how important they are to our system, to ensure that the system works for itself.
Right, let me bring the conversation to the studio, Dotun. From what Ni has said, he said it is not too surprising because of the system we find ourselves. Is that a justifiable reason for someone who was so well decorated and celebrated to get involved in all of this?
I think the major issue aligning with Ni, it's not, it may not be good reason, it's not a good reason for him. He has seen the good side of the police. There are men who have never seen the good side of the police. There are men who, apart from the fact that their salaries are very mega, and apart from the fact that they've never been recognized by nobody, they will not do this. I know a few of them that are not even officers. They are men of the Nigeria police. They will never get involved in this. But again, you should understand the Nigeria system, how the Nigeria system works as we speak now. Either you like it or not, greed has become our god and corruption our culture. In our bid to walk up the staircase of success, you discover that we want to manipulate our way at all costs, and it's not limited to whether you are in the police. Why is everybody talking? Why is everybody talking about the police, for example? Is because they are the representative of the culture of any government. So when you see the police outside, because they are in your face all the time, whatever they do is easily marketable, either wrong or right. But again, Niyi mentioned system, which is also very, very important. For example, the Nigeria police system, as we have it now, encourages corruption from from the welfare to even the way government attends to them. For example, if a state government buys vehicles for the police, the state government may actually be thinking that it is doing the police a favor, but you are actually giving them another opportunity to be corrupt. For example, if a police command has 21 vehicles and you are buying another 21 vehicles for them, you are not thinking about how they are going to fuel it. I've been part of the police system. I know that sometimes policeman leaves the station with no fuel in the vehicle, and once they drive out, the first thing they are thinking about is how do we get money to fuel this vehicle. So anybody who comes around at that point in time becomes a victim. They want to collect any amount of money for any kind of offense, so that the first thing they want to do is to fuel the vehicle. So you see the kind of system that we run in Nigeria. EFCC is talking about 4 billion naira now that is missing in our war against terror. Is it 4 billion naira? I can't remember. And a lot of the high-ranking officers in the military are being questioned. So it's a lot, and we must be deliberate in the way we recreate the police system. It's not by creating Amotekun. I've said it. It's not by replacing the police. It's not by having state police. Because the idea of state government too, and state governors to have state police, is actually copying the style of the Nigeria police, which is not working. Ask yourself the welfare package that the state government are even willing to give some of these people that they want to employ in their state police system. You discover that it's so mega and it's going to complicate the entire system. So I totally agree that we need to be deliberate in working on our system. And it's not just being deliberate, it's being strategic. We cannot have men like this who are going through this kind of system and you expect them at the end of the day to be the best. I'm actually not surprised.
All right. I'll come back to this matter of being strategic on working on our system. But let me get back to you, Obani. You mentioned something earlier. You talked about accomplices, perhaps, who are also in the system. And, you know, a lot of Nigerians are saying that how many of his ilk are also in the system that are carrying out this kind of issues, carrying out this kind of activity. And then the question comes, do we have the political will to cleanse the system and make it right?
Do we have a system first before we have a political system? That's the question I would love to first answer. Do we have a system? Absolutely not. Right. You have a system whereby you can go around and police stations are all over the places. In a state like Lagos State, where you have a population of about 20 million and you have about 33,000 or 34,000 officers to police over 20 million population. In a state like Lagos, where you have an officer in the Nigerian police force earning about 40,000 naira a month, staying in Yanopaja, working in Victoria Island. In a state whereby a police officer had to, I'm referring to Nigeria as a state, who had to buy his own shoe, had to buy his own uniform. Sometimes you see our police officers on the road, you see them wearing light brown check up and dark brown as their trousers. You have a state whereby decided to employ 10,000 police officers under 8 years for a population that is growing exponentially. You have a state that whereby when the police officer try to arrest erring military officers, the military officers are above the law. You have a police state whereby some police officers have been alleged to be even hiring their weapons to criminals here and view. So it is not about political system. The last time federal government said they work on the welfare package for the police officer, they increased their salary by 20%, which means a police officer earning 50,000 naira a month, his salary has also been increased to 60,000 naira, which you and I know in this country where we run a pay system of tax. His tax has increased, his NHF has increased, his pension has increased, yet you still want this kind of human being to go in there. You have a police state whereby a commissioner of police...
I want to believe that the police force has a system where it can lay all of these complaints and not allow things to continue the way it has been.
There is no system because the system is the governance itself. You have a system whereby you remember when this one comes to Nigeria Custom, Colonel Ali, he made it known that you cannot have a revenue generating agencies being paid peanuts and you expect people there to be saints. Except we are fooling ourselves. ASU is going on strike. The son of that police officer needs to go to the university. How will he do it? The wife needs to go to hospital. How will he get it done? The man needs to pay for his house rent. How will he get it done? He needs to transport with this for eye. How will he get it done? Electricity has increased. So, except we want to fool ourselves, the entire Nigerian fabrics is wired in such a way to ensure people continue to steal and steal the system. You ask yourself, what are the senators doing? How much are they being paid? Are they still stealing or they are not stealing? Are they involved on all this nefarious act or not? The National Assembly members, you know the number of hours forfeited by a recent military general in a court about 2 days ago. So you see all these things plays out in every phase. So it is not about political will. It is not about the political system. It's about having a system that works. Policing job has become, I've applied everywhere across the world and I don't have a job. So what do I need to do? Let me put on black, talk to boys at the garage, let me collect money from this person. Or people have been seconded to missions, seconded to EFCC. Sometimes you find out that even senior police officers pray to be posted to areas like Lagos, like Ogun, like airports, like custom command, simply because they want to better their life and better their family. And let me tell you, in the hierarchy of need, if you don't meet the food, the shelter, we are joking. And these people also want to meet the food and the shelter. They want to be able to provide for their family. So until we begin to ensure that we do the right thing for our security apparatus, not only the police. Are you saying that if they torchlight the NDLEA, are we not going to find more crimes? Is it the first time that they are doing that thing along that corridor? You saw the tape that says the man has been doing it regularly in Enugu airport before an informant informed Abba Kyari to intercept him. So it shows clearly that even within the NDLEA, people are involved. The airlines operators that are bringing this thing, they are involved. So it's a systemic issue, and it's until we purge our system of all these things and create system whereby people see it as anathema to steal, we will continue to have the likes of Abba Kyari doing their policing job and ensuring that they want to secure their future. Do you know the number of Nigerians that have left this country in the last 1 or 2 weeks or 3 weeks or 1 month? Right. What we need to do is not about political will. It's about being deliberate about our system, either strategic or not strategic. But if Abba Kyari cannot feed his son and his daughter, or the Abba Kyaris in the police cannot buy uniform for their children, they will ensure that the ends meet. Except they want to come here and speak English and want the whole world to believe that everything is right. We will have to pour the entire system by making that the system works for everybody and the system is right. Until we do this, all these grammars we are blowing, even leave the police, go to the streets.
All right, let's quickly take the conversation to the studio. Nia, I'll come back to you. Right. Now, Dawson, there's so many things, there's so much Nia has said, and one of the things he has said is the system is built in such a way that it is encouraging corruption, so to speak. Absolutely. And we have always said that we are fighting corruption, especially with this administration. What does that say of us? Are we joking with this fight against corruption, or are we being insincere with even ourselves that we are actually dealing with corruption? We saw Transparency International's rating of Nigeria recently. What does it really say of our fight?
I think the consistency at which we fight corruption is not in the same level at the level at which we are becoming more corrupt. And when you put the two side by side, you discover that because in the political process, there's always the temptation of always wanting to play politics. in either you're fighting corruption, you're doing a project, or even setting up a program. So I think we should not consider political reasons why we are fighting corruption. But most importantly, we should move from our punitive side to preventive side. And that's laying major emphasis on orientation, especially for the new generation. Because I think 2 generations of Nigeria have already failed. So if we leave this other generation to fail, then it's a lot of complication. Now you look at the level at which we're talking about ritual killing, for example. So I think we do not understand how complex our society has become lately. So our attention should not just be, oh, you're fighting corruption. Okay, is it about arrest? Is it about punishing the people? How much result have you got from there? To actually working on how we can actually prevent corruption. And preventing corruption starts with building a better community. Because, like Nei said, survival has become an issue. Our young boys have become heartless. The young girls have become greedy. And heartlessness and greed are the 2 ingredients for ritual. So, and everybody seems to be involved in ritual at their own level. Because if I take money that is meant to build community health center, that's some kind of ritual killing. Because at the end of the day, some people will die because they cannot access health care.
Absolutely.
So preventive is where we should put our focus on. And when we're talking about preventing corruption, it means that everybody is coming out that without stealing, everybody has an understanding that without stealing, they can actually become better in the community. Also, we also need to lay emphasis in the process of reorienting the people on process. Everything takes process. We have successful people as bad as the welfare is now in the Nigeria police. We have successful people in there that work through it, and that's why I'm a bit not happy with what happened with the entire thing with Abba Kyari, because there are men who have seen the good side of police. There are men who have been out of the country on trainings and retraining and all manner of things. This Abba Kyari is a man that has been honored by the National Assembly. The First Lady gave him an award, 2018 Silver Bed, called him Hero of the Year. So by all these things alone, you can actually, when you have, because a lot of us are running after currency, but before currency, when you have contact, then you should not bother about currency, because the contact by extension will turn to currency. This man already has honor, and Yoruba says if you are looking for money and you meet honor on the way, kindly go back home, because if you have the money at the end of the day, you will use it to purchase honor. So that's why it's a bit really complex. But our community must from now concentrate on how to actually prevent corruption by building a just community for all, by creating an opportunity for everyone to grow, by actually orientating the new generation about the importance of process. I'm not going to start job today now and be comparing myself with somebody who started job 20 years ago. So, but everybody is in a haste because there's nobody to talk to anyone. Right. I said it the other time that in my place now in Ondo State, in Akure, you can hardly sleep in any hotel because everywhere you turn to, Yahoo boy all over the places. And the authorities are in support. Either the business owner, because they know that somehow these guys are going to bring money. So the society has become so complex this day that if we do not do something urgently, they will be knocking on the door of people to kill them for money ritual. Right.
Obani, let's get your final thoughts for want of time.
My final thought will be on this proverb that Yoruba says that if you are going on the road and you meet honor, you leave the money. Unfortunately, that is Yoruba when we have value in the society. Maybe when we go back to that system where there is value for everything that we do, then when you meet honor on the road, you leave money. But the system we currently have, you need money to buy honor. And that is what the system looks into. So until the government got to a point whereby money don't become issues to get honor, you will begin to get police. But again, the government should look inward. If you have trained Abba Kyari and the other member of STS and IRT, and we are sending them packing, what are the replacements? What are the alternatives? 33,000 police in Lagos State, 347,000 police in the entire country of 200 million. We are still joking. Until we get to what we are supposed to do as a system, and we begin to value what's supposed to be valued in the system, whatever we want to say about it, people will continue to look for money to buy honor, and that is the situation where we find ourselves. So we wish Abba Kyari well, and we pray that such issues, if the government decided to be serious, can be quickly mitigated and nipped in the bud before it becomes a countrywide issue. Thank you so much.
All right. We'll leave the conversation here now, gentlemen. Thank you so much, in-house analyst Obani Akinwale and public affairs analyst Dr. John, for your time on the program.
To be here. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me.